Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Spank and Shake broadcast. This is Somebody Sunday, and as always, I'm your host, Dime, here on Sunday. So, I know usually I bring you Metal Gear Solid 5, but this week, since it is the beta for Star Wars Battlefront, man, I'm flubbing just as bad as they do in the regular week. I figured I'd bring you 3 videos of the beta. For this video, since I'm going to play one of the shorter rounds, Drop Zone, I figure let's start by showing you the survival stuff. It literally takes approximately 6 minutes, so I figured I'll bring you one of these before I show you Drop Zone, and can also kind of give you the rundown of some of the things. Since I don't have a partner online at the moment, we're going to go ahead and do this single player style, and we can only select normal, which kind of sucks, because normal is really easy. And they also only give you a maximum of 6 waves during the beta, instead of the usual, like, say, in the 15-ish range, I think they said is. And then, of course, I would love to do it on harder difficulties, because of the fact that this is monumentally easy. But this is the survival stuff. This is kind of what they said is going to be their version of single player. Now we have 2 hands we can choose from, because they work off of a system with how do you put it, a system where you have cards. So we're gonna go with the secondary one because it comes with the ion torpedo, and for the primary weapon we've got the A2080C blaster rifle, which is the Rebel Alliance's primary rifle. The DH-17 pistol, it's basically like an SMG, high fire rate, not a ton of damage, and can cool off pretty quickly. Then you've got the E11 blaster rifle. This is the Stormtrooper's preferred weapon. It doesn't cool too very quickly, but it has high damage and pretty decent range. I prefer the DLT-19. It doesn't have a crap ton of damage, but its rate of fire is insane, and it can really lay down some power. It also cools rather quickly if you time out your when you cool perfectly. You know, at the right time, you choose when to let it cool off. It can actually cool pretty quickly. So this is a little cutscene. It's just a guy, some stuff's going down, and oh man, this game does sound amazing. It runs amazingly too. Like, I'm in game right now, and I've got it on max everything, and I'm getting a good 90 frames a second here. Sometimes it dips into the 80s, and in the heat of a huge firefight, I don't think I've ever seen it drop below 60, and sometimes I'll see it sit pretty steadily. So I've got my ion torpedo if things get a little crazy. I've also got my jump pack to get around the map pretty quickly. So we're going to get set up on a high ground up there and see if that helps us. Usually when I played this, I went over in that direction, but I'm going to come over here this time around. You just mix it up so I'm not always knowing everything. Ooh, I'm already accepting fire from behind me. You'll see in the minimap there, to the bottom left, it doesn't actually show, people as to where they actually are. It just shows varying degrees of red based on their location, and it really only shows it whenever they move. So we see we've got one enemy left, and we're going to mow him down right there. With this gun, you don't have any scope in. It's just kind of a slightly closer. Oh, we see we have a power up over this way. We can go ahead and jump over there. Don't go off the cliff. Gosh darn it. And we're going to pick that up. That's going to give us a charge of personal shielding. Now, when we use personal shielding, we can't shoot. They probably decided that for not only a gameplay reason, but also a balance reason. We can nab him. Ooh! Clipped him. Ooh, there's somebody behind us. Go ahead and hit him. Hit him. Ah, 3. Back to back. That was just... That's a heavy trooper, so of course he's going to take a bit more shots, but if you aim to the head, he still goes down pretty quickly. We're going to go on to wave 3, I believe. And they're going to send a drop pod. Let's see where that lands. Behind me. Alrighty. So we come over here, and we're going to grab this drop pod. A lot like the game type I'm going to show you in a GIF. We're going to hold E for a moment. and that's going to start filling up. Now, once that finishes filling up, it's going to drop off some power-ups for us, and I can show you more of the awesome things. But as you see, we've got a ATST coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and get a lock on it, go ahead and hit it, start opening up with the heavy machine gun here to do a little bit of damage, but it really doesn't do that much. Now, I wish this one came with not only the ion torpedo, but the ion shot, which gives you a bit extra damage versus these things, but I'll let it get sacrificed. I'm going to go ahead and get a nice lock on. I don't see enough of him to do it, so I'm going to come over here. This is going to open up, and we're going to pick up, what's the first thing we get? The smart rocket. Alright, smart rocket's kind of nice. You don't even really need to lock on. You just point and shoot. You get one good shot out of it. What's this? The infantry turret's really nice as well. Stick it on a choke point or something, and it just fires on its own. So we're going to go ahead and plop that right there on that one. And I'm going to move back and pick up the next one. Now, you'll see down in the bottom left corner, I've got a lot of guys kind of getting me all over, so I'm gonna once again utilize choke points, make sure nobody can get up here by throwing down a proximity mine. I'm gonna start falling back to this little village where, oh, got some people shooting behind me. This game looks great, it runs great, and it sounds wonderful. Ooh, got a sniper before he was able to set up anywhere. And they're pegging my infantry turret, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a helping hand, pop a couple of guys, see if I can get him real quick. That heavy gunner, he's got a gun like me, and he takes a bit more damage. But if you can do a nice controlled bursts, you can usually get him dead. But got a problem right here with people coming up behind me, so I'm going to go ahead and peg them. And then, boom, they're all done. Wave 4 is completed. Or was that wave 4 just started? I can't remember. So we got more Imperials coming in. I've still got my personal shields for a nice escape. That's what I find the personal shield is best used for, as an escape mechanism. Oh, we got some heavy troopers in who come in with shields. Now, a great way to counter these shielding, because they can't shoot back at you while they've got it up, is to, if you have ion shot as one of your power-ups, you can go ahead and use that. And it'll eat through their shields really quickly. It also does a decent amount of damage to vehicles, but that's clearly not what it's meant for. It's meant for taking out troopers who've got that shielding. It can be a bit of a problem. A lot of people have been, in the beta, have been using shields mixed with jetpacks to get behind people. I personally don't like the shields, just due to the fact that it can't allow me to shoot, and I like to hang back and give a lot of suppressing fire and that kind of thing. But I suck at first-person shooters, so we'll see how that happens in just a minute. Ooh, another drop pod coming in. See if we can spot where it is. So we're going to go ahead and use the jetpack to get across there pretty quickly. I do like the jetpack in some multiplayer situations. I'm not too sure about it in the maps that we've been given for the beta. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and pop this open and see how we do. What do we get? Come on, give us something good. Or, well, hopefully I don't die before that thing opens. Got more troops coming in. There. Oh, and there. Man, I'm bad shot. So, you actually just saw that if you were looking at the middle of the screen. Whenever your weapon is cooling off, I'll try to show you here again in a second. Just watch. Watch. See that? If you hit that R button, or I don't know what button it is on console, but if you hit the button right as it gets to the yellow spot, it can actually shorten the cooldown on your weapon by a lot. We're going to go ahead and get a lock on there. Try to knock off some health on that thing while I peg him. I'm going to try to run past this guy and get behind some cover. Okay, that's the first time I've ever used that. That's an orbital strike. And holy crap, that did a lot better than I thought. But yeah, that's it. That's the survival mode. I got 6 headshots. I was hoping for a bit more, but 44 kills. The experience to experience all 15 waves and face every enemy type in the full game. Go ahead and get the full game. You can go ahead and pre-order it. Me personally, though, with some of the balance issues I've been seeing, I would strongly suggest to wait until the final game comes out and wait for some reviews to come out by players, not by review journalists, because review journalists don't really have the time to play all of the multiplayer all the time. So they might play a few rounds, get a handle on things, and be like, okay, I've leveled up to, say, 15 and gotten what I wanted, so I think I can make an informed decision. But there are some balance issues in this game. I will admit that. So we're going to play a round of drop zone and see how we do. We're, what, like 6-7 minutes into this? So we're going to see how we play. Now, I warn you, I am bad at first-person shooters. I'm not good at them whatsoever. So we're going to go and see what I can make happen. But this is Drop Zone on Sullust. Now, good things I have to say about this game is it looks fantastic, it sounds fantastic, and it feels fantastic. Some bad things is, well, the gameplay seems a bit unbalanced. That's definitely evident. Not so much in this game mode, but in some of the other ones, it does seem a bit unbalanced. So we've already started, and we're already winning before we even got into the game mode. Already somebody shot at me. And I forgot to pick any cards. Oh, crap. That sucks. So somebody, according to my indicator thing, somebody is around here, and I want to get the jump on them. Wow, almost died. And then I died. Yeah, that's normal for me. I just spawned in a really bad spot, so it'll automatically pick a partner for you most games, and when that happens, you can go ahead and spawn on said partner, which is nice, or you can just spawn normally, and it'll spawn you somewhere near your team, or at least it tries to. So I'm going to hang back, send a lot of fire down range. And I would think about popping a grenade if I had one. Gosh darn it, I don't. They were able to grab the drop pod, so I'm going to go over there. This game mode is all about getting the drop pods and holding them. But since they had it for a second, it kind of disrupted us. I'm going to try and defend this thing as best I can. But like I said, I'm bad at first-person shooters multiplayer-wise. Single-player-wise, I'm not that bad. Multiplayer, though, I tend to lose my head. Quite literally. So I'm going to go ahead and keep an eye on this thing. Nobody's coming for it. I'm going to go ahead and drop him. Gain cover right there, but no, somebody got the beat on me, so I'm going to jump up here, gain cover again, and start throwing rounds down range at them. Just listen to that blaster. That just sounds wonderful. Just sounds good. So they're going to come in and take me down. They had more health than me, so that was kind of to be expected. And go ahead and select my my hand this time around. You can also select your partner's hand, which is kind of nice. They're set up differently, and you want to quickly switch to whatever they've got. Just kind of neat. I do like that. So I'm going to go ahead and move to defend the pod. We've got it now. So on Sullust, it's a very rocky terrain. So you want to use those rocks to your advantage, I find. So let's go ahead and hang back here. We're behind the pod, so we've got nice sight range up on those cliffs up ahead. And we can also loop around and cover here. So right now it's 8v8 on Sullust, by the way. 8v8. And if you just look around for a second, look at all that beautiful, beautiful gameplay. I mean, the game looks great. It feels great. You see all the fighting up there on the cliffs. I mean, above us. Yeah. And we got another one, so I'm going to go throw some fire down there and nab another kill. I'm 3-2. Surprisingly, not doing half bad. We've got another one. So I'm going to go ahead and loop around here. Cover my teammate as they move. Cover my partner. Now you see I picked up another orbital strike, so I'm going to go ahead and plop it down right there behind the on the other side of the drop pod. The reason for that is that seems to be where the enemy's coming from. So I was able to nab 1 kill from that, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to move up on this side, kind of cover here. Oh, but I'm taking some heavy fire from... I thought it was somebody there, but apparently it was somebody way off over there. I'm going to spawn on my partner now. He's kind of in the thick of it. I'm going to, again, just kind of moving around to defend. I'm not really making any plays here. I know. I'm going to go ahead and throw some fire down that way. Chuck a grenade over there. Oh, I think that person got taken out or something. Hey, I made it. So there seems to be some fighting action going off over there, but we need to see where this next pod drops, which is right there. Now you'll see for this one, I have a grenade, ion shot, which is the little gold one, and something called the cycler rifle on my numpad 3. I do numpad because I work with a Razor Naga. Oh, let's not die. And he meleeed me to death. And then died. Nice. I think he walked in. I got him to low health, and he walked into a pit of bubbling oily gasness and died. So ion shot, like I already described, allows you to do more damage to shielding, as well as do just more damage to vehicles. Now the grenade, of course, works like any old normal grenade, so I'm going to pop that over the cliff there towards the objective, see if I nab anybody. And it works off of a cooldown, so once the cooldown's done, it's going to be available once again. And I'm going to throw another one just in case anybody comes up around that thing. And I'm going to take some cover behind these rocks. And give some cover fire over in that direction. Now you see that guy spawned on his partner. And that was a bad idea at that moment because he spawned right into some fire. And I'm going to go ahead and give fire to him. And drop him. Yes. Yes. See, I'm 6-4. Not doing too bad. I usually don't get a lot of kills, but I don't die a ton in these games because I tend to hang back and support my team with covering fire. That's at least how I play Battlefield. But that's the game. You see, we pretty much trounced them there. We have 2 guys who are doing insanely well. 21 kills, 6 deaths, 23 kills, 4 deaths. Sorry, my cold is still in full swing. Full swing it is. Now you'll see I got points there, but I've already played this a ton. I wanted to get a nice handle on everything before I made any videos about it. So I'm technically already maxed out, and you get credits. Now the credits, I'm going to quickly explain all the facets of this game before we jump into the next video, where I'm going to play 2 more matches of Solace, I think, and then I'll bring you 1 game of Walker Assault for the 3rd video. So we're going to go ahead and quit out here. Nice loading screens with pretty things. And we're going to go back, and then we're going to go to collect. Now, collect is where you get all your unlocks. So first off, let's start with the cards. Your thermal detonator, it's got a 9-second cooldown. It's the most popular and widely used grenade. Oh, whatever. It's a grenade, okay? It is a grenade. Next thing, we have the cycler rifle. Now, it looks a little steampunk-esque, but it's basically the sniper rifle power card. You use this card and boom, sniper rifle pops into your hands and you get 1 shot. 7 seconds later after your first shot, boom, you get it again. It's pretty nice. And then the ion shot. So I usually use these top 3 here. The ion shot has an activation time of only 7 seconds, but a 20-second cooldown, which is pretty a lot. And it has charges, so I'm going to spend 500 credits, get 10 more charges of this sucker, and boom, I have it. And so now I've got, 15 charges? Then you come up over here, we've got the ion grenade. This is another type of grenade, ion grenade, by the same name as ion shot. Just does more damage to vehicles, shields, and droids. I haven't seen any droids in this game yet, but I assume they're going to pop up at some point. Next up, you have the jetpack. It's got jump pack, not jetpack, because you only do large jumps with it. It does have a 15-second cooldown, but on maps like, say, Solace, it's a really great thing to be able to get to your targets nice and quick. Besides that, honestly, in combat, I don't see too big of a bonus to having it when in, like, a firefight. But traversing the map is a lot quicker, and I do have to say, like, jumping away from combat can definitely help you. Then you've got your personal shield. You can't shoot while you're using it, but it's going to save your ass. It's got a 20-second cooldown, and a lot like the ion shot is activated for 7 seconds, which is good because that means if somebody pops their shield and say they're not shooting at you, because they can't, but then you pop ion shot 1 second later, yours is definitely going to outlast their shield, but if you can land enough shots, you're going to deplete their shield long before they can finish their 7 seconds. Without it, you might not. And then lastly is a trait card you can put over here in traits, and what it does is it levels up throughout the match between 3 levels based on the amount of headshot kills you get. So the more headshot kills you get, the higher the level it goes. But every time you get a headshot kill, it will reduce at level 1, reduce your cooldowns by a small amount, then a medium amount, and then a large amount. So say if you really like using the cycler rifle and you can peg some headshots with it, it's basically going to give it to you all the time. So blasters, like I already said, you've got the A280C, the Rebel Alliance's version of the blaster rifle. When you're holding it, it kind of looks like an AK. It's got low damage, high rate of fire, moderate range, and it cools hella fast. Then you've got the Stormtrooper's preferred blaster of choice, the E11. It's got high damage, a low rate of fire. Its range is, again, moderate, but it takes a bit longer to cool. So you definitely want to use this thing in bursts, but it's stupid accurate and can hit a target at a long range. So it's not half bad. Then you've got the DH-17, short range, high rate of fire, moderate damage, and cooling speed is pretty decent for a gun of this size. I'd say on Walker Assault, it's not that great to use, but on Sullust, oh, this thing could be a godsend. And then you've got my blaster of choice, the DLT-19. It's a heavy blaster shaped and kind of works a lot like an MG42, back from World War II, or an MG40, I can't remember. I think it was MG42. Also known as the SAW. Not the SAW like the squad automatic machine gun, but no, I mean like the buzzsaw from World War II. It cut people in half. Low damage, high rate of fire. Range is, again, moderate, but a little bit lower than the E11 or the A280C, and its cooling speed is insane. So you definitely want to use this in decent bursts, because the spray on this thing can be insane, but when used properly, it can kill people pretty effectively. So that is all the things you can unlock in the beta right now. 4 blasters, 7 star cards, and then this is locked for the beta. Now real quick, I'm going to go over what is all locked for the beta, what isn't, and then I'm going to end this video. I know most people aren't watching anymore, but I figure you might want to. So we have Survival, which is eventually going to be on 4 maps: Hoth, Indoor, Sullust, and Tatooine. Right now we can only do Tatooine. Battles, which is completely locked, and then Training, which is completely locked for right now. Then you have the multiplayer. We have Drop Zone on Sullust, Walker Assault on Hoth, Supremacy on Indoor, Fighter Squadron above Sullust, Blast, which is a team deathmatch style, Cargo, which I'm not sure what it is, and Droid Run, which I'm not sure what it is. That looks like it's going to be on Indoor. This can probably be on multiple maps. And then Droid Run, it can also probably be done on multiple maps. So I'm going to end this episode off for you people, you beautiful, beautiful people. And we're going to come back with more in just a jiffy. So stay tuned. As always, ladies and gentlemen, drop a like, drop a comment, and see you in the next episode.